It's a wrap right here at the Cairo International Stadium, venue of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations final, which Senegal have just been beaten by the Desert Foxes of Algeria. It is the end of the competition, the first edition that has been expanded to 24 teams. My name is Fisayo Dairo, and we are here to give you the entire review of the competition. Joining me in the analyst box is Toby Adekoju Oganla Media. Quickly, Toby, what a competition. What is your own summary of everything we've witnessed here in Cairo?
Yeah, great tournament. 24 teams tournament, first edition. I think it was a very explosive tournament, so to speak. The expectation might be high for some people, but I think the competition, meets all the standard, and it gives room for teams to compete, and the fact that Nigeria finish among the top three really makes it very good coverage for journalists. So I think the experience is worth it for everyone involved in the AFCON tournament.
Okay, you mentioned Nigeria already, so let's quickly go there. The Super Eagles finished third, just like you pointed out. But could we have done better? You just saw the final. We saw Senegal taking the game to Algeria, and of course they couldn't score. Do you think, especially the Nigerian head coach, is come under fire after the loss to Algeria? Do you think we could have done better? Do you think? What do you make of Nigeria's participation generally?
Yeah, we could have done better. We've got a very good chance. Like everyone, said or believed that if maybe we could have get the best of Senegal today, we could have won. But I mean, we didn't deserve to be in the final. That's the truth of the matter. Like that was the performance. It wasn't good enough to win. And so. Maybe because we've not qualified for the last two editions. When you didn't qualify for the last two editions, then you get it back into the tournament. Then you get to the semi-final, finish with the bronze medal. It's still a pass mark, but I think we could have done better in terms of performance, general play, players' mentality, and a lot of things. General also tactical situation. But there's a lot of lesson, a lot of positivity to learn, and also kill into future for this team.
Okay, we'll come back to Nigeria Super Eagles shortly, but let's look at the organization. This tournament ought to have been hosted by Cameroon, but Egypt came on late on to rescue CAF. But lots of empty stands. Don't let me put words in your mouth. What do you make of the organization of this AFCON tournament?
Superb organization. I think it was very easy for them. They've got the facility. I mean, we've moved around facilities here. So the facilities were already available for them to be used. I think maybe it was Alexandra they work on, but majority of the facilities were already available, and we want to give it to them. But the fans, we know the history in terms of the fans' attendance in Egypt. They've got crisis over the years, so they try to curb the numbers of fans that will come to the stadium so that they won't have issues. But I think Cairo produced the biggest number of scenes so far in this tournament. I mean, antenna was massive. So I think the organization was superb. I think they got everything right. Security was top notch. The way they relate with the media, the fans. I mean, the organization with the players, training facilities. I think everything was superb. Kudos to Egypt for this organization.
Okay, matters arising after Nigeria's campaign. Third place finish. A couple of players announcing their exits from the national team, leading them Captain John Mikelubi and the tournament sub-scorer Odion Igalo. Let's start with Igalo. 12 months ago, he was subjected to ridicule by Nigerian fans after missing a couple of chances against Argentina. But within those 12 months now, he has scored 12 competitive goals for the national team, top scorer in the qualifying series for this AFCON, and again top scorer in AFCON. What a turnaround for Igalo.
Massive turnaround, a brave comeback. Most time players find it difficult to come back from criticism. Kelechi Iheanacho yet to bounce back, and it shows the maturity and experience of Odion Igalo. After all those bashing after the World Cup, he came back very, very strong. Top scorer in the qualifiers, top scorer at AFCON. That is a very huge and incredible comeback for him. Kudos to Odion. A super performance for him at the Nations Cup, and it's one of the reasons why we won the bronze medal. Those goals were very, very important. He came off the bench in the Burundi game. Another goal he scored. We were very close against Algeria also. So I mean, that was a very massive performance from Odion.
Okay, and what's next? Have you seen someone to replace him in the national team? Lots of youngsters, but who do you think we should be really looking out for if eventually Odion stays out the way it's been reported?
Victor Osimhen, good prospect, but I mean, it might not be so easy to fill up, but I think he's a very good prospect. Paul wasn't convincing, so I don't really want to have any faith in Paul. So I think Victor is still the only names ringing right now. So maybe other couple of guys, will come up during the new season in Europe.
Okay, and let's move to the captain, John Mikel Obi. He took to his Instagram page to announce his retirement after 90 caps with Nigeria's national team. Won the AFCON bronze 3 times, and scored at the Under-17 World Cup, Under-20 World Cup, Olympics, and the FIFA Confederation Cup. A remarkable career for him, you will say. Now that he's leaving, do you think this tournament especially has given us leaders that should step into his shoes for the national team?
Pretty difficult situation in terms of look at it in terms of the leadership quality of John Mikel Obi. I think it's really creating a very big hole. Ahmed Musa gradually stepping up into that shoe to be a leader, but I mean, it's still got a lot of stuff to cover to really be that kind of leader you need. Someone that is commanding, someone that's got a big presence in terms of what Mikel will offer in the team. Mikel came back to this team, gives a lot of positive vibes in camp. Even when he was not playing, you look the way he tried to put the young players together, the way he likes to put the whole team together. So I mean, it's really massive in terms of what Mikel has done in this team off the pitch, because we have been privileged to see what he's been doing off the pitch. He could not do much on the pitch, but he did a lot, off the pitch. I think against 1-1 against Cameroon, everyone really wanted to talk to Mikel, and Mikel said, "No, you don't have to talk to me. Talk to the heroes; they're coming." So, I mean, Mikel's presence will be missed in this team. I hope Musa stepping up, maybe to Stekong, Balogun to some extent, maybe, but I think Mikel has really created a very big vacuum. But I hope the other guys really step up into that ship.
Okay, let's wrap it up this way. The Super Eagles and the competition is done. Now, what's next for the Super Eagles? What will be in the event? Where, yes, you said this is the first time we're qualifying for the Nations Cup. What would you expect to follow from now, maybe in the next 2 years, which is the frame of the next tournament?
Yeah, we've got quality in this team. Young guys, experience, because I think the likes of Musa have been to AFCON, Kenneth Omero, or Ekong, Balogun has been in the team for a very long time. Shehu has played in almost all the national teams. Rohr, young goalkeeper. So Chukwu, Victor Osimhen. So I think with the experience here in Egypt, they should get better in Cameroon. I think in the next year they will have a very good chance of winning. Also, the managerial position. For me, I think I will still give General Troy a pass mark. Qualify for the World Cup. He could not get through from the group stages. Qualify for AFCON. Got to the semi-final. After we missed the last 2 editions. Still a good pass mark for me. But I think we need a change in the managerial position. I think NFM need to look out for a better replacement for General Troy. We need a fresh air to come out for the AFCON qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers, and to see what we can build in the next 2 years. But like I said, there's a lot of prospect in this team. There's a lot of quality. If we get to a serious business, I think we can win in the next 2 years.
Thank you very much, and congrats on the successful coverage.
Yeah, great pleasure, bro.
All right, that's it from us, and special appreciation to our cameraman, Sulaiman Puja, and of course from me, Fisayo Dairu. Yes, the world-class photojournalist that covered this final.
Yeah, great experience.
I'm your sporting friend, Fisayo Dairu, the comedy CFW. He's Oganla Media, Tobi Adepoju, and we thank you for being with us all through the competition. Let's do it some other time. We say thank you so much once again, and do have for yourself a very lovely rest of 2019.